Good. Well, we worked inside today, typical Thursday practice. We usually put noise on Thursday, which really is a challenge to the communication. Got to keep your poise when you have noise. Got to, still be able to communicate, whether it's hand signals or whatever. And I think the most important thing, from yesterday until the game is really focusing, having the mental energy and intensity to continue to get the mental practice that you need to get reps without having to do it in practice over and over and over. Also, it's important to rest, rehydrate, refuel, eat right, do all the things you can so that we can get our players 100% ready to go out and play this game. I think everybody's excited about the game. I think they're excited about having the opportunity to play in Atlanta. I think they're excited about playing a very good, Duke team. I'm going to say this about Dylan Moses, and then I'm not going to say anything else about it. We love Dylan. He had a great camp. He was a great leader. He was a good signal caller on defense. I guess that I'm always the guy that has to make a decision as to whether we practice or we don't practice. If we practice, we got a chance to be good. If we don't practice, I don't see how we can get any execution. So there's risk-reward in everything that you do. I think it's a character check for Dylan in terms of the support that we want to give him and the adversity that he has to overcome. But it's also a character check for everybody on our team to be able to keep the faith, to respond to adversity the way they need to accept the challenge, and to rise above the challenge, support each other, support the young players that are going to have to play, and just kind of go from there. I mean, that's the only choice we have. So we're excited about this team. I really like this team. I like the character of this team. These guys have worked hard, tried to do things the right way. So we're looking forward to playing somebody and kind of seeing where we are. So tomorrow we'll get a chance to have one extra day to get some of the stuff that we didn't get right today, right tomorrow.
Coach, we'll start over here, Charlie.
I wanted to ask you about those injuries. When you have somebody have a significant injury, what do you do to try to keep them involved and uplifted so that they don't get down on themselves and frustrated during their rehab?
Well, first of all, we try to communicate with them. I met with Dylan today, obviously, and all the players that get hurt, but we have great support staff here. We have a great medical staff. They do a tremendous job keeping them involved in terms of what they do relative to rehab. We still like for guys to be involved in meetings if they can be to help support the other players. So we're doing everything we can to stay in communication with them, to encourage them, to support them, teammates, coaches, everybody in the organization.
Two quick ones, if I could. Just who would be the play caller now without Dylan out there?
Well, whoever's playing Mike linebacker. I mean, we're going to have two freshmen playing as it is right now, so that's whoever's playing Mike linebacker. So that's we got to work with them on it. I mean, they've been calling the defenses, they've been getting the signals with the twos. All right, now they're going to have to move up and be able to get to communication with the ones.
And with the defensive line in the spring, you challenged them quite a bit, it sounded like. How have they responded this fall?
They've been really good. I mean, I've been pleased with, Raekwon's had a great camp. He's really played well. A couple of the young guys, DJ Dale has done really well. LeBron Ray is doing really well. We have some of these young guys Justin was doing really well, and he got his foot hurt. But I don't think that's a long-term thing. Those guys have done really well. They've responded well.
Coach, we'll go back here with Brett in the green.
Y'all were really good at generating explosive plays through the pass game last year as that wide receiver group and the quarterback have taken on a new offense. How have you kind of seen that threat develop over preseason camp?
Well, we've added some things to the offense, but we've also kept a lot of the things that were good for us last year. I think when you have the kind of skill guys that we have and the capabilities that we have with the quarterback, I think we need to make explosive plays. I think it's going to be important for our offense. I think it's going to be important for our team. I think it's important for us to have balance on offense as well. And hopefully, I've been, fairly well pleased with the offensive line and their development. We'll be able to get that balance. But, the challenge in this particular game is this team does a lot of moving and stunting up front. We're going to need to get a hat on a hat and have great communication and play together as a unit, run or pass.
Stay over there with Reiner. A couple more. Back over here with Tony.
Raekwon was pretty introspective about the fact that he underperformed last year. Where have you seen improvements from him, not just from a maturity standpoint, but also from a consistency standpoint?
Well, I think he's kind of taken a leadership role in that room, and I think that started with him setting a great example in terms of the effort that he played with, the intensity that he played with, controlling his emotions, to play with emotion but not be emotional. And he's got good knowledge and experience of what he's supposed to do and how he's supposed to do it. So he's really, really played well. And if he continues to play like that, I'm sure he'll have a great year.
A couple more. We'll get Tony, and then we'll wrap up with Charlie.
We've only gotten to see Keelan a little bit during practice. What does he offer to the offense, and what do you like about him at the running back position?
Keelan has got juice. He's quick. He's fast. Very explosive on the perimeter. So he kind of gives us a different type guy from the other guys that we have, which I think is important, at that position. So, I hope we get him the chance to have some opportunities in this game.
We'll wrap up back with Charlie.
Tomorrow will be your first radio show without getting a prediction from Walt. I know that this football
Without
team,
what?
without getting a prediction from Walt, the score prediction from Walt Gary. I know that this football team meant a lot to him, but how much did Walt mean to this football team?
Well, I just think he's part of the whole tradition of the program, the tradition of the university. When you have fans, supporters, young people like Walt, who is so enthusiastic, so positive about, I said this before, there's so many days that I walk down the steps on Thursday to go to that radio show, and I got about 10,000 things on my mind, and about 9,000 of them, are things that you're worried about. And when I see him, those things kind of go away, because it kind of puts it in perspective that, his energy, his enthusiasm, how positive he always was, kind of makes you feel like this is not so bad. And I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss it a lot. I know our players will miss him, because they all, used to talk to him on the way out on Thursdays too. And, probably if we had a Fan of the Year award, he'd certainly get it.
Okay, good.
All right, thanks.